organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV, Bruce Harold presses pause on the renovations to his new office.
Plus, the main stage at UI's Marby Theater is readying to rock out to a cultural favorite.
The amount of injuries that the Iowa football team has suffered this year, unfortunately, continues. But Iowa might be able to handle it. Coming up in sports, I'll take pregame all on my own and tell you why.
All that and more coming up.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Austin Love.
And I'm Alara Bartlett. We begin tonight with a change of plans for the Pentacrest. Incoming UI President Bruce Harold is pausing a scheduled $500,000 renovation to his office in Jessup Hall. The planned facelift also came in conjunction with a $1.5 million plan for his house on Church Street, which will be completed. School officials felt the change in school presidents allowed a natural pause to refurbish these outdated spaces, but Harold felt uncomfortable spending the money right now. Harold believes the entire Jessup Hall office needs updating, so rather than just tackling the office right now, he's opting to wait. Historically, there have been no updates made to the original 1924 building construction.
3 UI students have created an app that lets you order food from your seat at a ballpark stadium or ballpark without missing a second of the game action. This way you can chow down while drinking in every aspect of the stadium experience. Daily Iowan TV's Katie Sextro has more.
Carson, Elijah, and Will have spent the last year creating a free app called Fan Food that allows users to choose what food they want at a concession stand and order and pay for it on their phone. The concession stand sends a notification to the phone when the food is ready, and the customer can go pick it up in an express line.
Basically, all in all, Fan Food is there to reduce the amount of time fans spend out of their seat.
The guys plan to bring their app to smaller and independently run locations to start off. They worry that the app wouldn't work as well in bigger venues such as Kinnick Stadium because you aren't always guaranteed to have cell phone service and people might have network issues.
So right now our target or our objective is to create a working product, and that works well, in addition to targeting more of a loyal fan base.
Now the guys are not the first to come up with an idea like this, and they know that they are competing with other similar apps to bring the best service possible to customers.
There's going to be an Uber or a Grubhub of stadium concessions, and it's probably going to be one team. They're going to probably eat everyone else out. So we hope to.
It's probably going to be fan food.
Yeah, so we hope it's fan food. Yeah, it's an exciting time, but it's really it's hard work and it's a little bit stressful, but
it's fun.
It's worth it. Yeah,
it's fun work.
Yeah.
To be able to create an idea and make a product out of it is pretty cool experience.
Reporting from the University of Iowa, Katie Sextro, Daily Iowan TV.
The app is available now for Google Play for Android and will hopefully be at the App Store for Apple by the end of October for iPhone users.
UI tuition may be on the rise. The Iowa State Board of Regents is considering a $200 tuition raise for residents. Students for the school year beginning in fall of 2016. Last month, the UI was left out of the proposed tuition spike at UNI and Iowa State for this upcoming spring. With the latest proposal, the Regents want to level the playing field for the 3 state schools. If the idea is approved in December, UI would have the most expensive tuition by about $30.
The Iowa City Curtain is ready to open for American Idiot, the musical adaptation to the 2004 Green Day album. Beginning Friday, the UI's theater department will feature the Broadway production for the next 2 weeks. American Idiot signals the beginning of a main stage season for the school. The musical centers around 3 young adults looking to find their way in the world. On Broadway, the show captured 2 Tony Awards in 2010 and won Musical Album of the Year award in 2011 Grammys. Tickets are selling quickly at Hansard Box Office, which students can purchase for just $5.
Well, Austin, it feels like there's an autumn chill on campus.
That's right, Larry. It's been nice outside, a little cooler than summer.
Yeah.
It's been a nice little change of pace.
For sure.
We'll toss over to Ashley Kruger now to see if that weather is here to stay for the weekend. Ashley?
The cooler weather doesn't look like it's here to stay quite yet. Don't let this weekend fool you. The temperatures seem only temporary. Come Friday morning, we start the day at a chilly 40 degrees. Then as we approach midday, temperatures rise to 52 degrees. In the evening, they then drop back down to 42 degrees. Getting into the weekend, we see consistent clear skies. Saturday is looking good with a high of 56 degrees and sunny. Sunday heats up a little more, reaching a high of 63 degrees. As we get back into the week, the cooler weather doesn't follow. Monday through Wednesday, highs are going to be in the mid-70s and lows only getting down to the 40s. Tuesday's partly cloudy skies will be leading us into Wednesday's 30% chance of rain. That's all I have here for you. Oh my God. That's all I have here for you at the Weather Studio. Back to you guys at the desk.
On Thursday, President Obama unveils plans to keep over 5,000 American soldiers in Afghanistan after he leaves office January 2017. Obama previously vowed to conclude the conflict under his watch. The new plan that he called modest but meaningful will give a third commander-in-chief the reins to the ongoing fighting. American commanders have pushed the president to keep their influence in Afghanistan. This comes during a recent rise in Taliban activities in areas claimed by the U.S. over the last 14 years.
Former South African Olympic athlete and double amputee Oscar Pistorius is set to be released from jail on Tuesday, October 20th. Pistorius was acquitted for the murder of his then-girlfriend Reva Steenkamp. Pistorius, known by many as Blade Runner due to the prosthetics he uses in competition, shot Steenkamp to death on Valentine's Day 2 years ago. He claimed he thought she was an intruder in the house. Under the terms of his release, Pistorius would be confined to house arrest until October 20th, 2019. Prosecutors in the case have appealed and will reattempt to convict Pistorius in the South African Supreme Court. The trial date is set for November 3rd.
Well, Lara, I bet most people have seen the colossal new addition to the UI Children's Hospital right next to King Stadium. It's awesome.
That is true, but what people haven't seen is the view from inside. Thursday, the local media got a glimpse of the 12th floor where young patients will be able to watch Iowa football games with a bird's eye view. The $360 million project, built without a cent of tax dollars, is moving towards its summer 2016 completion date, just in time for the 2016 Iowa football season.
Well, in 2015 football season, there's still a lot of football yet to play. Iowa's going to be in Northwestern this weekend, and I'm excited for the game.
It should be a great time. To preview the matchup of the two ranked teams, let's toss it over to Laura Belanda in the sports studio, who is standing by with this week's pregame. Laura?
This week for the Iowa football team hasn't just been about their 6-0 start, it's about how they got there. We jump right into it this pregame show where Jordan Maloney and Alec Giannakopoulos give us the rundown of who we'll be seeing on the field on Saturday and who we won't be seeing.
As the Hawkeyes look to keep their perfect record intact coming up this Saturday against Northwestern, it appears that things are going to get even harder.
That's right, Alec, and not only is this weekend's game going to be a clash between two nationally ranked Big Ten teams, but Iowa's going to have to do it without 6 of their players who have contributed to their 6-0 season.
In addition to Tavon Smith, Boone Myers, LaShawn Daniels Jr., and Jake Doozy, who were all questionable going into last week's matchup against the Illini, the win wasn't all smiles for the undefeated Hawkeyes.
Offensive lineman Ike Bucker and defensive lineman Drew Ott will find themselves watching from the sidelines this weekend as both suffered injuries in the third quarter of Iowa's matchup with Illinois.
Yeah, and the growing injury reserve is certainly a challenge for the Hawkeyes, but nothing they can't handle.
The worst part about coaching and football is just dealing with injuries.
And their replacements are ready to compete. You'll see Jeremy Smith on the field once again for wide receiver Tavon Smith, who is hopeful to return after next week's bye week. And filling the spot of Boone Myers will be Cole Croston. Stepping up in the tight end position of Jake Doozy will be Henry Krager-Coble and George Kittle, and filling the gap left by defensive linemen Drew Ott will be Parker Hesse.
Just the next man in mentality. If somebody goes down, somebody else is eager to get back in and compete.
Akram Wadley and Derek Mitchell Jr. will fill in while LaShawn Daniels Jr. is still out. LaShawn's younger brother, James Daniels, a true freshman, will be stepping in for Ike Bucker against the Wildcats.
We're a very resilient team. We face a lot of adversity, but so far in the season we've been able to overcome it.
Before the Hawkeyes can get back on their feet with a bye week, they have a physical contest in Evanston.
That's right, and that's all we have for this week's injury report. Outside Kinnick Stadium, I'm Jordan Maloney.
And I'm Alec Giannakopoulos.
Thanks, Jordan and Alec. The common phrase, injury is a part of the game, is something we have heard from head coach Kirk Ferentz almost every week. And Taylor Brooks has more on the backup, who's humble and experienced.
The injury adversity that Iowa football has had to go through this season hasn't been easy, and people know that.
We definitely notice it. Like, sometimes it's hard to overcome, but we're a very resilient team. We face a lot of adversity, but so far in the season we've been able to overcome it.
And each and every week, Iowa has had someone step into a role that they might not have much experience in, especially on the field. But luckily for redshirt freshman Parker Hesse, he's seen more time on the field than some.
You learn from every opportunity, be it practice or game competition, but getting out there and actually playing. And in this case, we're lucky in some ways that Parker has played as much as he has, so he won't be overwhelmed by that part of it. But still got a big challenge this Saturday, and he'll have more of them ahead of him.
Hesse moved from linebacker to defensive end late in the 2014 season, but for both Kirk and himself, it was a good move.
I'm glad we made the move back in December, and I think every snap's certainly important, but he's coming along doing a good job.
The Iowa native has 7 solo tackles on the year and 8 assisted tackles, making his tackle column up to 15. But Hesse is filling a void that not only comes from on the field.
When you lose a guy like Drew, he's not only an excellent player, but also a very strong leader for us. So it's a big void.
Everyone on the field has a job to do, and you have to do your 1/11th. So, obviously, Drew's a tremendous player, and he goes above and beyond his 1/11th very often. But my job is just to play my role, just to be that 1 out of 11 guys on the field.
Drew Ott's injury may be one of the most heartbreaking seasons cut short, but this Iowa defense is moving forward with poise.
Our defense, we have great leaders at each position group, and we're really focused on getting the job done. That's just a testament to the leadership we have and the players we have, that we're focused on getting it done no matter who's in there, no matter what the situation is.
This has been Taylor Brooks for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
When Iowa travels to Evanston on Saturday against Northwestern, the injuries are going to have to be set aside because Northwestern has a team that no one can look past, especially with a defense like theirs. And more specifically, I looked at their backfield. Northwestern fell 7 spots in the Associated Press poll after their loss to Michigan last week, while Iowa climbed 5 spots and clinched a 6-0 record after their defeat over Illinois. That leaves the matchup this week, number 20 Northwestern versus number 17 Iowa. Northwestern's defensive backfield is ranked 7th in the country, only allowing 138.2 passing yards. This stellar group claims the name the Sky Team, consisting of Trevion Henry, Nick Van Hoos, Godwin Igwe-Buike, Matthew Harris, Kyle Cairo, and Keith Watkins. Northwestern's rush offense will serve as a great matchup for Iowa's rush defense. The Wildcats average 260.8 rushing yards this season, but Iowa's defense hasn't allowed any team over 100 rushing yards. As football is obviously in full swing, college hoops are right around the corner. Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Taylor Brooks was in Chicago, Illinois earlier today.
Thanks, Laura. The hype the Big Ten Conference is getting for both men's and women's basketball was very apparent here at Media Day, especially with Maryland's men's and women's team grabbing that #1 preseason poll spot in the Big Ten. There will be a lot of familiar faces we see come November from various teams, but there's a handful of rookies that will not only be getting their first taste of college basketball, but the competitive Big Ten. Stick with Daily Iowan TV Sports as we talk rule changes next week and how Iowa women's basketball is trying to fill 3 voids in their starting lineup. Reporting in Chicago, Illinois, Taylor Brooks, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
That does it for the sports team. We'll see you all on game day in Evanston.
That's all we have for you tonight at Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest news between now and Sunday. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Alara Bartlett.
And I'm Austin Love. Have fun this weekend, Iowa City.